Okay, I have one more rant here to go on as far as the psychology of Bigfoot concerning humans and our relationship to it. I think we all are aware of Sasquatch on the brain. I'm constantly questioning that in myself because I know that it's a very deep evolutionary trait of ours to take information gaps of there's something big in the woods and fill it in with whatever we could imagine as scary monsters because over time, being aware of the real threat of things in the woods has kept us safe. Um, and so everybody recognizes that there's lots of people that hear a sound in the woods and oh, it must be Sasquatch. But there's another component of this. The opposite of that is dismissal. When you are constantly dismissing something that could potentially be something. And so we kind of get into this whole other form of psychology. Now, I think for the average person, if like say you're out camping in the woods and you hear something, I mean, let's just say we could know for a fact that this was actually a Sasquatch trying to communicate some message: get out of here, or this is my territory, or I'm just curious, who knows what, right? Um, let's just say we could know that for a fact, and then now imagine the humans. They're sitting there, they don't want to feel terrified, they don't want to think that there's a bear or an ape man or anything over there, and so they're kind of reassuring themselves. That's the dismissal part. Well, that could just be anything, which is totally true. I mean, all of these psychological aspects are interesting, and I think we need to have kind of a fresh debate about all of them. But again, if you're sitting there in the woods and you hear these noises, me personally, I would rather think that it was Sasquatch messing with me down in the valley. I would feel that to be less threatening than if there's a bear and I have a puppy. I mean, I'm sitting here indoors right now because there was several series of sounds, between, I mean, in the form of there's something with the tree, there's something with the birds, the ravens were going bonkers. There were smells coming up from the woods. The dog ran right over to the spot closest to where the sound came from, which also happened to be the spot where just over a year ago, Courage had found the rabbit stomach. Now, again, let's break that down. It could be totally a series of unrelated events that, in my mind, I'm potentially putting it towards, Sasquatch or something else, who knows what. But, something physically caused all of those things. And I guess that's what, when I make these videos, I'm just trying to show how complicated this gets for me to sit here and try to talk about these things and constantly worry, are people going to think I'm crazy? Are people going to think I'm making it up? Am I going crazy? Am I just seeing patterns where there's not, or am I dismissing patterns? What if, I mean, there's been plenty of times where stuff happens where I'm like, no, this seems too crazy, I'm not even making a video about it. People totally think I'm making this up. I don't document every single thing that happens out here because I really am constantly afraid people are going to think, oh, this guy's just got Sasquatch on the brain. So this is where it gets complicated. Again, in each of these situations, you have to come up with explanations, physical explanations, and yeah. Anyways, so when you think about this at a large social scale, that for these various internal mechanisms, we are denying these things' existence and we are dismissing the flow of information amongst us as a species regarding them because we don't want to seem crazy. We don't want to seem this, that, or the other. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to accept it. And so that to me is one of the most powerful concepts in all of the world of Sasquatch. It to me in some ways it's as fascinating as the creature itself. Like the number of psychological mechanisms that this thing triggers in us is just completely fascinating to me. And so I hope you appreciate those comments, and please leave me your perspectives in the comments section. Thanks for tuning in.